Good morning, everybody. MG here from mgcovers.com. Going to do a little bit different video. This is the first basketball betting preview we've done. I might do some of these in the future, but we're going to do this for today, February the 10th, 2019. Going to give you a complete analysis and breakdown, and also at the end reveal our free picks. So let's get started. Okay, before we dive into this, let's talk about how we handicap college basketball. Like all sports, the way we do it is real simple. We give each team a power ranking. Then we take that power ranking and we convert it into a money line, like for hockey and baseball, basketball and football, or any spread sports. We convert it into an actual line. So that's how we do it. And one important note: if you're paying for picks, or you want to tell how to tell if somebody's a good handicapper, and they give you a play, say, hey, today's the play is whatever, such ABC team -5, play them. Send them an email and ask them, say, hey, what's your line on this game? And if they can't tell you, they have no clue what they're doing. Because in any sport, the very fundamental step is you have to create your own lines. Because in doing so, you'll be able to see if the line that you're wagering against is actually good or not. Otherwise, you're just guessing. So that's very important, creating your own lines. Now, how we do our power rankings is the lower the power ranking in college basketball, the better. So let's get started. UMBC, you might not have heard of this team. That is University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Their power ranking is 125, going up against Maine, who has a power ranking of 156. Now, UMBC has already beat Maine earlier in the season pretty convincingly. They won 61-52. Also, UMBC has 2 recent road wins. And the reason that's important, sometimes those stats are not that important. This is because that's a stat that the team is aware of, the coach is aware of, and they'll tell these guys, hey, listen, you've already run one on the road recently twice. That gives them a lot of confidence going into Maine. So the line for this game, UMBC, is -3. It's actually moving up. But the beauty is we've got this line at -10. So we have a huge, not a huge, but that's a nice spread, 7 points. So we like UMBC -3. I still think it's a good play if you can get it at -4. Moving on to the next game, Siena coming in at a power ranking of 125, going against Rider at home. They have a power ranking of 163. Big spread there as well. Rider has lost their last 3 games. Interesting stat here. On their home court in the last 4 games, they've lost against the spread. Now, this is a very important stat. And the reason you look, we're playing some away teams here. The line, everybody always thinks you're competing against the odds maker. Oh, I'll beat the bookie. That's actually not true. You're competing against the general public. And so what happens in college basketball, or in any sport really, the general public likes favorites. They like home teams and they like overs. So the odds makers know this, so they will shade the line, which means, those of you who don't know anything about shading, that means they just basically inflate the line. And ironically, there is no home court advantage in college basketball against the spread. In fact, listen to this stat. The home team against the spread this entire year, if you take all the games, has only covered 49% of the time. So statistically, you would be better off playing the away team. Now, don't just go blindly play away teams against the spread. You'll end up losing that way without properly handicapping each games. But the point is, the perception is you say, hey, this team has home court advantage. Now, actually winning games, the home team wins at a rate of 69% in college basketball. So if you're playing parlays, you better make sure that you have some home teams in there so they win a pretty good margin there. So anyway, back to the game. This line is Siena +6.5. We actually have this game capped at Siena -12. So we have a 18-point differential there. Huge, huge, huge value there. So we like Siena +6.5. Moving on to our next game, Georgia Tech and Notre Dame, 2 teams that are playing just terrible, terrible basketball. Georgia Tech, power ranking of 134. Notre Dame, a power ranking of 153. Interesting stat, Georgia Tech, even though, again, they're not playing well, they're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games. So that's a pretty good stat. And again, what that means is the odds makers are setting a line, and they're actually covering that line. Another interesting stat, Georgia Tech has already beat Notre Dame early in the season 63-61. We look at the line, it's Georgia Tech plus 5.5. We actually have Georgia Tech as the favorite, -6. So those are our 3 picks for today. We also go over our entire record for the year. We're 60-44, 57%. A dime player would be up $13,162. $100 player will be up $1,300. We reveal all our picks on Instagram, YouTube, or either Twitter. So follow us there. We'll have links in the description box. So good luck today. And as always, give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel. We post videos almost about every other day. Our website, mgcovers.com. So I hope everybody has a great week.